Good morning, everybody. If my lovely panel could come and join me on the stage. Welcome to Day 2 of SiGMA. As mentioned, we will be talking about payment systems and how they can help you adapt to a fast-moving pace. My name is Sehote. I am a sales manager at Paramount Commerce. We are a global payments provider specializing in account-based payments in the iGaming and sports betting space. And I'll do a little plug. If you are interested in entering Canada, I am your woman. But we are limited on time, so let's move on. If our lovely panel could give me their name, title, and a little bit about their organization, that would be fab.
Okay, I'll start. I'm Simon Dorsen, Chief Commercial Officer of OKTO. We offer payment solutions, omni-channel retail, and also for online.
Hi, I'm Rhiannon, Chief Commercial Officer at Zimpler, and we offer account-to-account payment services across Europe and soon Latin America.
Good morning. I'm Peter. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Spinwise, and we're a casino operator group.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ilya Machavariani. I'm CEO of H Agency, and we do licensing and payments in emerging markets for gambling operators.
I think we're just getting a mic sorted out for Justin. I'll give him a little intro, if you don't mind, Justin. Justin Hartzman, he is the CEO and co-founder of CoinSmart. So let's get started again, very conscious of time. So we all know that a seamless payment experience is vital when it comes to retaining and attracting new customers. Simon, do you think operators are paying enough attention in this area? And what should they be looking for when securing a payment provider?
Yeah, I think they do look at experience, but I think they validate that via a couple of questions, such as, if they're looking at a new payment method, will it cannibalize what they've already got, and how popular it is. So that being said, I think just as the content that an online provider offers, players are not homogenous in their choice of content, and it's the same for payment methods. So it's about us as payment solution providers looking at that segmentation of players and unlocking segments within those that player group that's not offered. So I think account to account, such as Trustly with Pay and Play, unlocked a lot of that, and we have done the same with OKTO Cash. So I think those are the things to look at.
Yeah, agreed. And Rhiannon, hearing Simon's list, would you say that the relationship and payment providers has changed over the recent years? And if so, how?
Yeah, definitely. I think payment providers have gone from just like one of many suppliers that you have to being really interwoven to many important areas of the business. From, you mentioned the pay and play, like from the registration, KYC, AML. We have clients who base their market expansion on the markets that we're going into because they know they're going to have a solid partner. So it's really become like an all-encompassing relationship aside from just one more supplier. So it's been super, super important to build those strong relationships. And you have some operators who have one payment provider in their main markets, so you rely on them completely to run your business. So it's super important to have those really strong connections.
Agreed. I think you've really hit the nail on the head there. And Peter, as an operator, there's often some healthy tension between existing payment solutions and offering new payment methods, such as cryptocurrencies. So what are the pros and cons to doing one over the other?
Look, players are very interested into adapting new methods such as crypto because it has a lot of pros, but there's also a lot of cons. I think we all can agree the easiest pro is there's no limit, right? It's literally whatever you want to send, you send. But the cons, as an operator, you get not only pressure from the players to offer what they like, but you get a lot of regulators asking, why do you do, and is it legal? So I think the other side is that regulation is still very early, and we need to adapt a lot of things to make it actually working.
And Justin, on the note of crypto, would you consider operators slow to adopt digital currencies? And what are the benefits operators can expect from offering cryptocurrencies as a payment method?
Well, that's a great question. Thank you for having me here today, everyone. I'm Justin Hartzman, the CEO of CoinSmart. And like FTX stole all of our money, I think he took my voice as well, so I apologize for that. But to answer your question, cryptocurrency is a needed asset to have as an operator because 30% of payments are done in it. We can KYC for them on their behalf. We can have them money to them instantly whenever they need it. We settle out quicker, it's cheaper, there are no chargebacks. There's a huge problem in the space when doing payment processing. So we give them a suite of products, just like any other payment provider, that will allow them to take crypto in without any market risk. And I think that's the key aspect. When some player sends money in, we convert it at the time, or if they choose, they can hold it in treasury as well. So I think it's a super important piece on a move-forward basis of what operators will use worldwide. And we're seeing it in huge numbers right now. Our product is growing immensely, 10x month over month. And we continue to see that for the foreseeable future. So exciting times, for sure.
Yeah, and I think I can say for the majority of the room, chargebacks are the bane of everybody's life as well.
No such thing in crypto.
Ilya, building off Justin's points, how is the knowledge of local payment habits and specifics when entering new geographies?
Thank you. Well, I think that given that fintech industry is not developing only globally, it's also developing locally in each country, in each region, from my point of view, it's very important for the operator to understand what kind of payments habits and local payment methods are popular in the particular jurisdiction, particular country. For instance, we have Pix in Brazil, which is like payment method that was created by Central Bank of Brazil. We have UPI in India. We have a lot of wallets in the different countries that every operator, in my opinion, entering this market should know, because obviously you can work only with global payment solutions, you can work on Visa, MasterCard solutions, you can work on crypto, but if you don't know what local players and local people like when it comes to their payment habits, you will fail in this market and in this region. So from my point of view, it's very important to get this knowledge, get this guidance before even starting to figuring out a new market for yourself.
So I've got a follow-up on that one, if I may. What do you think should come first then when entering a new market, the global payment offering or the local?
Well, usually there is also like a tricky part when it comes to local payment methods. For instance, in Latin America, and this is where I have some of the knowledge, in Latin America, local payment methods, they don't really like to see operators that yet to have any experience in the region. So in this case, this is like a chicken and egg situation because you need local payment methods and local payments to start and to have good business in the region, but local payment methods will not accept you because you never had any experience in this region. So usually the way around that myself, I'm usually suggesting to my clients is to start with global solution, maybe try to build some volumes, at least small one, and prove to the local guys that, okay, I have some experience, I understand where to look, I understand where to get traffic, I understand how to get high quality traffic in the region, and then local payment solutions would be more willing to accept you and to onboard you.
Perfect, thank you. So looking forward, Peter, what would you say is the biggest challenge facing payment options and operators today?
That's a very good question. I would say you need to look at the market which your payment methods offering. Different markets, different challenges. Europe would be adoption of crypto, because I guess we're a bit behind from comparing to Asia. LATAM, I would say adoption with direct banking maybe first. You know, like that's a big thing, and I think Rhiannon will join me on that. But yeah, in general, if we put it in one, that would be regulators understanding how we need to control this. That's the biggest challenge.
So on the flip side to that, Simon, what are the challenges facing the gambling industry sorry, let me ask that again. What challenges facing the gambling industry can digital payments solve?
Well, I think that there are some mega trends that are facing the gambling industry at the moment. Obviously tighter and tighter AML, tighter gambling restrictions, responsible gaming, and things like that. So I think it's how can payments be a vehicle to help operators with that, because payments is ultimately the way in for a player to the operator, whether that's a retail operator or an online operator. So, and I think retail and online have these mega trends, but they're at different stages of where they are in their journey. So, how can payments help with that and deliver that as a vehicle, adding on responsible gaming, identifying the player, and things like that. So I think that's where they can help.
Okay. And Justin, would you say that the same list applies to cryptocurrencies, or are there different challenges that crypto can solve?
No, I think it's the same thing. At the end of the day, we have to do what's right and we have to do what's regulatory, and that's what we really focus on, to ensure that we are doing the proper KYC, AML of every client that's coming in. When we're returning funds, it's going back to the same place that it came from. So providing those tools to the operators and doing it in a safe manner with the information passed in the right way when they need it is a key focus that we're always trying to achieve. So there's no difference. Even when Ontario and Canada, they're legalizing gaming, they've just legalized gaming there, and cryptocurrency is on the back of that. So we're really trying to work with the regulators around the world as a fully regulated exchange, one of the only in the world, to make sure that we're always following the law by the T so that we don't have problems. Because at the end of the day, we see unregulated having issues across the board, causing issues to everyone around the world. So we're trying to mitigate that from our small standpoint.
And over and above these challenges that payments can solve, Rhiannon, do you still think there's innovation that still needs to be made?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that we will see innovation continue to happen. I hope so, anyway. We've talked about a lot of the challenges, regulation being a huge one, and we have to be innovative to find ways to still be able to provide a great experience whilst being compliant with the different regulation, which is different in every market. Then we have markets where, for us at least, the population has been largely unbanked. They're coming online. The populations of banked percentage is increasing. So finding ways to make payments and gaming accessible for people who are getting more online, I think that will be a challenge and where innovation is needed. Looking at KYC, AML, affordability, responsible gambling, there's still a lot to do in those areas. And I think it's going to be key that we keep on top of what we can do to provide a good experience.
And Ilya, how do you see innovation evolving in the payment space as it relates to casinos and online gaming?
I definitely agree with what just Rhiannon said, because from my point of view, the innovation will happen and it will continue to happen in the industry. On the other hand, I think that when we are speaking about innovation, we also need to understand that probably we need to figure out the goal where we want for this innovation for us to get, if you know what I mean. Because sometimes, everybody here has been on a gambling conference before. This is not the first rodeo. But everyone is speaking about innovations like this is like the word with the big I, and that's it. So I think that it's very important for the industry to maybe move the innovation perspective towards a particular goal that we as the industry want to achieve, or every operator want to achieve, whatever. But again, I definitely agree that innovation is unstoppable, and we will see more and more new stuff coming our way. Which will change the industry one more time, like it has changed the industry for thousands of years already.
I think in innovation, consolidation is what's key. Where now, as you were saying earlier, we have a product that services you from end to end. So it's not an individual supplier doing each piece of it, but having a full platform. I think that's where we're going to see a lot of stuff happening, and M&A in this space for sure.
Yeah, definitely agree with you on that one. So we are drawing towards the end of our panel. Let's end the way we started with a quick fire round. So in one sentence, and in one sentence only if you can, what do you think will be the biggest game changer in the gaming industry? Ilya, I'll start with you at the end, and we'll work our way back.
No problem. I think that it's definitely regulations, because for me the challenge is something that cannot be walked through, and you need to rather build around it, if you know what I mean. So the only thing that in our industry is not able to find a way around is regulations. And again, history proves it. So from my end, it's always regulations, and one more time again, regulations.
I'll join on that point of view, but remember that I think also those regulations are driving our innovation forward. Like that's part of
Fair
the
enough,
things.
yeah.
Like you get set of rules that you need to bend, and then you come up with a new solution, which turns out to be compliant. But yeah, the biggest is to maintain a healthy balance between product regulation, compliance, and reasonable product use. I think that's what we all hope here for. So.
Regulated crypto processing that increases revenue.
Yeah, and I'm going to stick with the guys and say regulation, and specifically regulation that's set by governments with different agendas and that don't necessarily understand gambling as well as they should do.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think regulation obviously is a big driver, as you said, but the player doesn't know that. You know, the player is not in that discussion. So I think the innovation comes from being able to adapt to the regulation, to be compliant and everything like that, but still deliver what the player wants, because you know the player's not changing, their habits are not changing. You know how they want to feel like they're anonymous or whatever. Obviously they're not anonymous, but they want that feeling that they are. So I think that's where the innovation is going to come.
I do agree with you, Simon. Like, the question isn't actually aimed at me, but I'm going to pipe up anyway because we have a bit of time. I do think rather than it being a game changer, it is a sense of like continuously keeping the player in mind. So we have an abundance of topics to consider, but we still need to start with the end in mind, and that is the player. Yeah. That brings us to the end of our panel discussion. Thank you very much for listening and joining in, and we hope you have a good rest of day.
Thank you very much.